Don't reveal what's on
I gotta stand here. I'm a bit nervous actually, because it's the end of an unbelievable run with an unbelievable group of young men. If you're lucky, as I was, you get the opportunity to coach a team that, in the course of the season, reflects back to you what you hope to become. And I think that in the course of this journey, through all of their commitment and sacrifice, they made me become a better coach. Was able to relate differently. We had an unbelievable run at offset. I think a lot of people focus on the fact that 7 guys were there in the finals, and that's not the whole narrative. So you can imagine it's after like 50 games a season. The refs come over and he starts going in the cage and draw, and they think I brought along some delinquent. I tell them he's a doctor. They look at me like I'm funny. The end run at offset was the byproduct of all of their hard work. Even though 7 guys were there in the end, that doesn't happen without the schedule we played. And I know it seems insane, but the reality is that we won 34 games. We lost 20, so it's a 54-game season. But of those 20 losses, 12 of those losses were to top 10 nationally ranked teams. We played anybody and everybody. We beat some people and we got beat. But what that meant is by the time we got to the end run, by the time we got to that McGuigan game, all of these guys have developed the physical, mental, and emotional toughness that was required to get over those hurdles. And so as people began falling off for various reasons, injury, personal reasons, guys were able to step up and fill that void because they had been initiated. They had played alongside Dean and Baz and Ryan Pinckney and Daniel Shane for their entire season. So when they took the floor against Windsor or Timmins or whomever, they had already seen it. And that was a large part of our success. It had to do with what happened before. The end was a tremendous moment for all of us, but there's a backstory. I'm going to hand it over to Rem. Before I do want to thank a lot of individuals personally. I would like to personally thank Mr. Kovacs and Mr. Haig, who drove up to see us on the final day of offset. It meant a lot to the boys. I'd like to thank Mr. Crutwell, who came with us to Ottawa. I would like to thank Mr. Grant, Mr. Costanzo, Mr. Miranaka, Mr. Porches. I'm going to forget people, Mr. Lowndes, individuals that at various times throughout the course of the year showed up at different gymnasiums, whether we were in Brampton or whether we were in Welland. I mean, we certainly didn't go to Europe. We went everywhere else between the Ontario borders. Mr. Davies, thank you. And the support that you guys provided for the team, it was noted, and it's part of why we're here. So I'm going to hand it over to Aren for a final class.
There was one thing, in all the discussion, we've gotten lots of congratulatory pats on the back, which are great. A lot of recognition, which is great, for the silver medal, which we're understandably proud of. But one of the things that maybe some of you don't realize is the fact that at offset there are 18 teams from across the province. And after a series of 4 days of banquets and meetings and games, the conveners, the organizers, coaches get together and they award a sportsmanship award that is given to the one team that embodies character, sportsmanship. And they award that after the last game. And I'm extremely proud to say that not only did these guys bring home that silver, but they also brought home the sportsmanship award of 18 teams from across the province. I think that is a testimony to their character, to their hard work, to the respect. Now, we finished the season on a 9-2 run, losing only to the #1 team in the country and the #6 team in the country. It was phenomenal. From the game that we hosted here, we hosted UCC, the team became more focused, more determined, more resolved. And that was, in a season of turning points, I think that was the one that really pushed us, really motivated us to do well at offset. And not only did we perform well, not only did we exceed a lot of expectations, not only did we surprise a lot of people, including ourselves, we also displayed sportsmanship to the point that the team that we saw in the first game from Timmins, a good team from Timmins, that we beat by 50. Stuck around, delayed their departure, and it's a long trek from Ottawa to Timmins. Delayed their departure so they could come and cheer us on in the semifinal. And I think that, along with the awards, is a testament to the quality of these young men and the character that they've exhibited the entire season, making all of you, making the school, whether you're aware of it or not, extremely, extremely proud of. I'm very, very proud of that award.
The 4 grade 12 step forward. Daniel. I got to go to the notes on this one, sorry. I have a tremendous amount of respect for what you did this year. I know you love basketball. I know you were kept out of basketball for a year because of injury. I know you battled through injury this year, and you battled through having to sacrifice your position so that other younger players could have opportunities. You have a tremendous mental toughness and an incredible caring spirit that allowed you to go through that process with joy. I could not have done what you did at your age. And I know we had many a conversation about that issue. And I hope you understand that I am better for having spoken to you in those moments. Thank you. Aiden, you guys on rugby, you're in great hands. This guy's been there. You were the gatekeeper of our ability to succeed in OFSA was derived from your leadership. Yours and Riley's as well. I've had the luxury and the privilege of coaching both of you and knowing both of you for about 6 years. And I think that affords a special relationship. I remember when you looked at me in the first game and you said, I don't have any confidence. And the honesty in that moment and the ability for us just to have a conversation about it in the heat of the battle, and then you turn around and you rip off 14 points per game and led these young guys with your courage and your fearlessness. You're the most selfless player I have ever coached. You have sacrificed so that others could step forward. And in the final game, in the final analysis, all those moments we talked about leadership, you were the leader of this team. And I think we talked about leadership without a title. And I think you embraced that in the final moment. And I also value the conversations we had. Thank you. Babyface killer. I don't know if you know about Riley Henderson, but a lot of Ontario does. Riley looks like the most unassuming kid on the court, and in our biggest games, he would bang in dagger threes to the extent that he had guys in Ottawa screaming his name. After one of our games where we knocked off the #1 team in Ottawa, this guy from the crowd who we didn't even know came storming out of the stands. He's, "Where's that kid? Where's that kid? Where? He smiles at you. He's got these big blue eyes, blonde eyes, and he looks like he doesn't do nothing. And then bam, 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 he kills you in the end. I love you, kid. What's your name?" And he did it on more than one occasion. He also, in offset, Riley had a great shot. And if you get a chance to see the video, there's a tell for it. If you're ever playing poker with Riley, watch his left hand. Because he stands there, and he's channeling the game through his left hand. On the video, you'll watch it. So there's a play going to the corner. If he likes the play, he'll do this. And if he doesn't, he starts doing this. And then the shot goes up, he goes like that, and then he calms himself down. In all seriousness, Riley, your road may have been one of the hardest. You went from being a starter to being sixth man. We always put a lot of responsibility on you. We asked you to be a glue guy, a utility guy. You never once complained. You were beyond reliable and beyond dependable. And you also had a way of putting your arms around these young guys, especially the grade 10s, when they were a little bit intimidated by what was taking place, and you moved them along. What you were able to accomplish through your natural leadership and just through your personality. I know it's very understated, but I have to say that both you and Aiden will be impossible to replace. And I think a tremendous amount of our success off the court, the intangibles we're talking about, the class, the decency, the togetherness, the ability to put your arms around people, and certainly the buy-in, you guys are the carriers of that. This belongs to you, and therefore you both earn our Coach's Choice Leadership Award, which we'll get to in a second. I'm sorry I'm off script. I tried writing this, but I don't know if you could tell this. It was emotional for me because of what these kids represent. And my son. Sorry, it's sorry, Hans. said to Simon that he represents the best of us. And if you think about his 2-year career at Crescent in terms of everything that he has accomplished as a young man in the classroom and on the court, and how he has embraced this community and how this community has embraced him, he is the best reflection, I think, of what this school can be. Both a fierce, but calm and classy competitor. He backed down from no one. Whether we were playing the #1 team in the country or whether we were playing some smaller school, he brought the exact same steady, calm resilience to the game. He is a class act through and through. And I think that a large part of our success down the backstretch, if we're being honest, is that there's a joke. I manage the kids, Dr. Arendt manages me, but in many respects, as we got into the final moments of this tournament, Simon managed me as well. So I want to thank you, and it goes without saying that you are our MVP, and that whatever program, academic first, athletic second, gets you next year, they will be much better for it. I'm extremely proud of this team. I love you all very much. It was a moment. Thank you, boys. Oh yeah, that's it. We're just going to take a photo now. Thank you for everyone. Show's over. Trophy. We don't have a trophy. We have a banner.
No, for the MVP.
Oh right, sorry.
Let's have one more big congratulations. Silver medals, Costa Provincials, well done guys, congratulations.